Live abroad and know the situation here. What are the main differences in the way we teach here and abroad?
To me, the main difference is that in other countries, teaching English is based on communication, right? It's based on learning how to speak, on understanding what you're being taught to, right? And using English as something real, right? As a method of communication, right? As something that it is alive, that is everywhere, that is on television, that is on the radio, that is on internet, on DVDs, and a language that is very widely spoken all over the world, right? So the students feel that it is something that it is alive, right? That is real, that is in the world, and they tend to use it, right? Whereas in Spain, at least in grammar schools, is felt as something that you have to learn, but the way you learn history or the way you learn geography or mathematics, right? As a formal subject, but not something that you can use outside of class as a means of communication, something that is good for you to talk to other people from all over the world, right? Because English is that, right? It's a lingua franca nowadays.
What teaching strategies do you use in class?
Not many, unfortunately, because I have the pressure of the education laws, of certain teaching methods, and it's difficult sort of to slip away from that and try to follow your own method, right? I just try to, at least not in the final years, but in the first years, I try to sort of have an English atmosphere in the class, try to talk English as much as possible, right? And try to make students like the subject itself, or at least like English, right? And not focus so much on grammar or written methods, right? But the final years, that is difficult because students have to take their tests, their A-levels to go to university, and in that year, the year you are in now, it's difficult because the educational laws force us to follow certain rules and do compositions and do grammar and understanding basic reading tests, and we the teachers are supposed to cope with that, right? So I say when they're 13, 14, 15, you can sort of follow a different strategy and use more conversation in the class and speak more and base your lessons on speaking and listening, right? Whereas when they get to your age, 17 and 18, the task becomes absolutely impossible, I feel.
Okay. How does the present university teaching training influence everyday English teaching in elementary? How acquired is it?
I don't think it is adequate if what we're looking for is a method based on communication, on speaking and on listening. What happens is that teachers nowadays at university, they learn a lot of grammar, they learn a lot of literature, they learn a lot of history. So our teachers are, let's say, people that have a very thorough understanding of English tradition, of English language, of English history, right? And what they do is mainly based on philology, but not based on the language itself, right? I would split, so to speak, right, the preparation at university into two different areas, right? The people that want to study English as something to be researched, as to dwell into literature, into grammar and into phonetics, but just as a means of investigating the language, right? And then a second area would be the people that are only interested in the language itself, right? They're only interested in speaking English, right? And I would certainly have two different degrees, right? With two different aims based on what the future teachers want to do with their careers. Right?
Okay. Thank you very much for your strength with us.
Yeah, not at all.